I commend the Center for Intellectual Excellence for your leadership in seeking to bring more diversity to Canada's workforce, and particularly the higher ranks of corporate decision-making. The overwhelming majority of working people in both Canada and the US are employed in the private sector, not the government. And if we want to change our societies for the better, we must ensure that economic opportunity is broadly shared and that people of all races can rise in the ranks of their companies as a result of their hard work, their initiative, and creativity. Canada and the US are truly diverse societies, but both of our nations have a lot of work to do before we can say our business leaders look like our communities. We must work for the kind of communities which have no barriers between Black, white, red, brown, and yellow. We are all members of the same family because we are all children of the same God. Our concept of family must transcend distinctions of race, religion, culture, and even national boundaries. Our challenge today is to get more people involved in working for greater interracial understanding, cooperation, and unity. And everyone can help to meet this challenge. Parents can teach their children tolerance and goodwill towards people of different races and religions. Teachers can educate young people about the contributions of all cultures, and corporate leaders can step up and make their boardrooms look like the communities where they market their products. We should always speak out against bigotry whenever it emerges. Now, everyone can do this. Our voice, our deeds, and indeed our lives should affirm the sisterhood and brotherhood and unity of all people. When we make this simple commitment, our lives will grow in meaning, purpose, and nobility. When different races and cultures learn to live together, to cooperate with and even enjoy one another, we enrich our societies. Great nations and great companies protect and cultivate racial diversity, but they also must cultivate religious, cultural, age, gender, sexual orientation, linguistic, and social class diversity. In my view, we can't really become the best possible democracies until women achieve parity in the halls of power in politics, business, and society. We need more good male leaders, but it's time to make room for the sisters in leadership. Let's do what we can to make it possible for more women, particularly Black, Indigenous, and women of color, to become leaders. If we meet this challenge, everyone will benefit. This is true for business and industry, as well as politics. We have to resist the toxic virus of racism, sexism, homophobia, anti-Semitism, xenophobia, and all forms of bigotry. We must more assertively teach the core values of democracy: tolerance, respect for diversity, fair representation, and cooperation across cultural lines. Great leaders, you see, build bridges, not walls. They build bridges of hope and opportunity. They build bridges of greater understanding, cooperation, and goodwill. Bridge builders have vision, and they seek to leverage the good in people, the hope and possibilities that can lead to a better future for everyone. If we truly want to fulfill Martin Luther King Jr.'s dream, we have to become agitators for compassion, agitators for diversity, agitators for social and economic uplift for all people, agitators for interracial sisterhood and brotherhood. And it's up to all of us, young, old, middle-aged, to reject our fears and insecurities, to reach out beyond our identity group and get involved in the struggle to make a better world. Love is the great shortcut to success in all human relationships, including the workplace. Those who learn how to use love in creative ways are the healers and leaders who blaze the trail forward to a more compassionate society. That in life we can win victories. We can win victories on our street. Some of us may win victories in our neighborhood. Some may win victories in our schools. We can win some victories sometimes in our cities. We may win some victories in our states or our provinces. Some may win victories in our nation, and some, better yet, may even win victories for our world. But all those words basically mean are be ashamed to die until you've done a little something to make the world in which we all must live a little better than it was when you arrived. Thank you, and may God bless each of you always.
Thank you very much, Mr. King. That was great advice, good words of encouragement, and it gives us a sense of direction to go on with the work that we do. So thank you so much for this. Yeah. So I have seen some questions coming. Thank you so much to those who have posted their questions already. We will surely do our best to get through them. So Mr. King, to start this off, your work in continuation to your father's legacy includes advocating for equity measures for all human beings. What would you prioritize as a good outcome for marginalized people and others from diverse population in contemporary society with our unique experiences that we have? And what approach should we consider or adopt to achieve these expected outcomes?
The question is, do we really engage in diversity, inclusion, and sensitivity? And while we had talked about it for years, we as a society really weren't truly embracing it. So now we have the opportunity, because if there was a veil over our eyes, that veil has been removed. We have an opportunity to make monumental progress. And I think that corporate leaders have to set goals. This has to not just happen at the top, of course. Certainly, those of us who are entry-level workers have a role to play. But I believe the corporate leaders have to have a serious commitment to creating diversity and inclusion, and then set goals and timetables to achieve that equity and parity. So there's a huge disparity gap, and we got to close that gap. That means we have to have a commitment to assist, not to give, but to assist, so that parity can exist for all, which means that we have to look at a talented pool in the workforce and elevate, look at the C-suite where corporate leaders are, to make sure that there's true diversity, more Blacks, more women, more of the indigenous populations or First Nations at those levels. Because as those populations, those individuals move up, then the corporation is better reflecting what it should be and doing what it should be doing. This does not happen by osmosis automatically. It happens by leadership saying, I'm committed, I'm determined, we're going to make a difference. Our corporation is going to reflect the population of our nation.
Thank you so much. It's been such an awesome conversation. We've learned a lot. Thank you for the encouragement, for the inspiration that you give to the world. It's awesome. And we thank you that you are sharing such deep knowledge with us. and also for all the work that your family is doing to advance this work. Thank you for the encouragement. We feel energized to continue the work that we are doing. Thank you, and I'll chat with you, Mr. King.
Thank you. Thank you.